TGIF, welcome to Q&A Friday, voiceover Q&A. How are you doing? Welcome. I'm Bill DeWeese, professional voiceover talent, voiceover coach, voiceover demo producer, and author of a couple of voiceover books. Again, my latest, Get Paid Using Your Voice. If you want to get found, get heard, and get hired in voiceover, check it out. It'll give you the 30,000-foot view of the business, how it works. It gives you the map, the steps to start and to take to get to where you want to go. And I've got the digital download below. Just click the link below in the description, and you can check that out. How are you doing? Are you ready for the weekend? And who couldn't be ready for the weekend, right? Isn't that, I mean, was it Loverboy the band? Everybody's working for the weekend. And this weekend is a special weekend for me and many of you, as it will be the Voiceover Success Summit happening tomorrow right here in the Chicagoland area, right here in my backyard. And I know many of you will be here. Looking forward to meeting you face to face. It's going to be a day of teaching and training and hopefully some inspiration and motivation, because everything that I do, including this upcoming live event, is to help you move forward and make more money with voiceover. That's the name of the game. So me and the special guests I've invited to come in, that's what it's going to be all about. And we still have some seats. So if for some reason, if you can work it out in your schedule, if you can be there, would love to see you there. Again, more information below in the description. Today is Q&A day, which means if you have a voiceover related question, put it up in the live chat, and I'll answer as many as I can before I have to get to work here in the studio. If I didn't mention it earlier, I am a working voiceover talent, and which, by the way, that's a whole other discussion. But I think it's important make sure the people you're listening to are actually doing this, and that may sound silly and seem self-evident and obvious, but that's not the way it always works. So, make sure you're getting information that's actually going to move you forward, that's relevant today, and that will get you to where you want to go. So yeah, throw your question up and let's just see what we've got going on. We've got Rusty, who was first in this morning. Congrats, Rusty. Good to see you. Jason in Nebraska, Ethan in Toronto. Rebecca, how are you doing? I'll see you tomorrow from Michigan, but I'll see you tomorrow here in Bourbonnais. Jim in Memphis. Where can I take an audition question? Do you mean Adobe Audition? Do you mean a voiceover audition? And what kind of question? I'm not sure exactly. Can you rephrase the question for me, Jim? I want to help you. I'm just not sure exactly what you're looking for there. So if you can kind of fill that in a little bit for me, maybe I can be of more help to you. Hey, Bob, what's going on in Wadsworth, Ohio? Terry in Falston, Maryland. How many auditions do you average per day? Now, I would say, one or two, and only when I'm invited to do it. When I was in business growth mode, I mean, and I always try to be in business growth mode, but I mean, when I was, trying to overcome inertia and achieve a liftoff, and really, for years, I was doing 20, maybe 30 auditions a day. I was cranking out cattle call auditions. The nature of the way you market your business will change as your business grows. So what happened over a period of years is I was able to cultivate a rather large book of business of clients who come back to me on a regular basis. So not only did I not need to do 20 or 30 auditions a day, I mean, I didn't have time to, because my time began to shift from trying to get work to actually doing the work that I had been working to get, if you follow along there. So about maybe 6, 7 years ago, I stopped for the most part. Now, on rare occasion, but for the most part, I quit doing cattle call auditions. And that's where, like on a pay-to-play site, like voices.com or Voice123, because I knew I was more productive doing the projects and cultivating my current clients. And so my chances of winning an audition when it's from a client who's already using me are far greater than when when I go to Voice123 or Voices.com or an agent where the end client doesn't know me from Adam, so to speak. And so that's part of the growth process. So again, once you cultivate enough clients or even prospective clients who like you and begin to ask you to read for things, your batting average goes way up and you become much more productive. And that might be more information than you wanted to know, but it wasn't a simple answer, just because I wanted you to know that when I first started, it required lots I mean, I was cranking them out, like I said, 20, 30 a day. Now a couple, and it's only, again, when I'm approached by, like, a client or somebody who's heard my demo, and they wanna hear me read for a specific project, and I know my odds of getting that job are very high at that point. Oh, let's see here. Becky says it is a beautiful, or no, happy Friday from Michigan, and I'm sure it's beautiful in Michigan as well. It's beautiful here in the Chicagoland area. We've got Jim in Memphis. Let's see here. Terry, we just talked. Let's see here. Marlene, how are you doing? Good morning from California. Have a great boot camp this weekend. Thank you, Marlene. Wish you could be here, but thanks. I appreciate the kind words. David in Gardner, Kansas. Hey, Tim. Driving in from central Pennsylvania. So, Tim, are you on the road right now? Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Scotty in Brookings, South Dakota. Joy, how are you doing in Michigan? John in New York. Brian in Wisconsin. Jim says ours will be very hot, I am told. Theo, what's going on? My main hype man. Greetings from the back of the bus, creeping along the streets of downtown Chicago. All right, Theo, looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Jason says good morning from St. Louis. Sandra in Dallas, Fort Worth. Marla in Texas. Let me back up here. The stream's trying to move me along, and it's moving forward on me too faster than I can read. Sarai says nice cool morning in El Paso. Finally, good morning to everyone. Mike in Minnesota. Aaron in Columbia, Missouri. John in Cape May, New Jersey. I'm just starting in VoiceOver. Should I create a new email address to use just for VO? And any suggestions on what to name it? Include my name, include the word voice. It's a good question, John. I mean, you should definitely have a business email. And it personally, I think having your name is good. And if you want to put voice, I think that's fine. I don't. Mine is simply, I bought the domain BillDeWeese.com. So BillDeWeese.com is my website. And owning that domain, now the email address I have is bill@BillDeWeese.com. That's my voiceover. It's not my voiceover training. That's training at BillDeWeese.com. But my voiceover email is bill@BillDeWeese.com. So that if that helps, it's important. I would suggest not to use a Gmail account. I mean, you can. It just there's something. A Gmail account is free, and everybody's got one. So when you have an @BillDeWeese, or if you had an @John, whatever your last name is, John, email address, it just looks like you're a little more invested in your business. So it could be a little bit more of an edge in terms of the perception that people have of you. So let's see. Did I fully answer? Yeah, you don't have to have the word voice. If you want to, it's fine. But I would definitely recommend it. And it doesn't mean I don't use that address for other stuff. I have it plugged into stuff that I want to have access to, like if like my chart for my doctors, when I have appointments, I have it plugged into Bill DeWeese. So if I get a reminder of maybe have an upcoming checkup or whatever, or a dentist appointment, it'll pop up in my Bill DeWeese. So, and I use it for stuff like that I want to stay in touch with. But it's primarily it's my voiceover email. Let's see here. Dr. Bob, good morning to you in Clearwater. Says, keep up the great work. We appreciate you. Bob, thank you, man. You always make me feel good. I appreciate you, and thank you for those kind words. Rocky in Tennessee. How bad is it to drink orange juice before recording? I don't know that it's bad at all. I would probably drink orange juice before I would drink milk. Although I have, back when I have a client that used to, man, they would just give me these massive projects with short turnaround. And I remember there would be days when my voice would just be, my throat, not my voice doesn't hurt, but my throat would hurt. And I would sip milk to help. And for me, that wasn't a problem. Here's the thing. Everybody's body chemistry is a little bit different. And so what might be bad for me might be perfectly fine for you. And so, Rocky, what I would suggest, and you may have heard somebody say, well, never drink orange juice. Try it out. That's the way I do things. Just because somebody says it doesn't, I don't necessarily believe them. I guess that means maybe I'm somewhat of a skeptic at heart. But I do know that things work differently for different people. There are plenty of people say never drink coffee before voiceover. I drink coffee all day while I'm recording voiceovers, and have for the past 18 years. So just because somebody said it or you heard it someplace doesn't mean it's true, or it doesn't mean it's true for you. So, Rocky, check it out and then come back and report to us here and let us know what your results were on the in the orange juice experiment on how it affects your voice. Melissa, San Diego, what's going on? Jason in beautiful Bourbon. Jason's upstairs. He'll be at the event tomorrow. In case you don't know, actually, I have a lot of people think that it's just me, or a lot of you have met Fred Gleek or think it's just me and Fred Gleek when it comes to voiceover training. I've got a team behind me that this operation could not happen with just me, not by a long shot. And there's a group of people that contribute into this in one way or another. It could be the technology end, it could be the copywriting end. I mean, there's a whole, and Jason's one of those very gifted people who makes this operation happen. So thank you, Jason, for that. Let's see here. Derpingo says, "Hi, Bill. Do you think you can make a career solely on characters as opposed to advertisements?" Absolutely, you could. I would say it's probably one of the harder ways to make a career. If you say, I don't want to do anything else except characters, that's going to be a very, you can do it, and there are people who do it. It's a very small group of people. It's a longer road to cultivate, and the odds aren't as high as if if you did something that had the market was infinitely larger, like e-learning or corporate work, and even advertising is a smaller market than the corporate market. So it really depends on if you have another career that you're happy with, but you want to pursue the character thing, I would keep the job you currently have because it's going to take probably a long time to develop enough work as a character actor to do it on a full-time basis. It's different for everybody. It could be faster for you. I mean, it may never happen. I mean, that's just the way that is. And that's why I teach a very broad approach. Cast a broad net, generate the money you need to generate. And then once you've got all these plates spinning, you're doing advertising, you're doing corporate, you're doing e-learning, you're doing audiobooks. Then if there's something that really catches your fancy, such as character work, and you want to pursue that, well, the great thing is you're already doing voiceover work and you're already making the money that you need, and maybe you're even doing some character work. Now you can focus your attention without losing income or your career. You can begin to focus more on character work while you've got these other plates spinning and you're keeping your career running. That's the strategy that I advocate, that I teach. But again, I'm just trying to kind of fill it all in for you in terms of my philosophical approach. But you can do it. You can. It's probably the hardest way to do it and the longest road to do it, but you certainly can do it. Corey, what's up in Wisconsin? Jim. Yes, Adobe Audition. Okay, Jim was asking the question about Adobe Audition. I put in a mono track and it says multi-track session not activated. How did it get set for multi-track? I don't know what I did to set that up. Jim, I've never seen that message. And if I was sitting in front of your computer, I could probably figure it out. But based on that, I can't. I'm trying to kind of imagine my way through it, and I can't. So I know you have two options when you open up Adobe Audition. I'm opening up mine right now, and that is you can create a new multi-track session or audio file. For voiceover, all you need is audio file, not multi-track session. I would close out and then attempt again just to do, just a session and not the multi-track session. And if that doesn't work, I would reach out to Adobe support, and I'm sure they can, in a heartbeat, answer that for you. Chris in Lakeville, Minnesota. Let's see here. Oops, need to back up the stream here, or the live chat stream. Let's see here. Okay. Emma's in Huntington Beach says, I've experimented with how I hold my lips and tongue at the end of a chapter, title, or sentence and have minimized a lot of mouth noise. Thank you for the tips. Yeah, way to go, Emma. Yeah, that's one of the things I do. And now it's muscle memory. It's habit. I don't even think about it. And that's just very briefly what she's talking about is one of the things I teach to minimize mouth noise is at the end of a phrase or a sentence or a paragraph, I don't allow my lips to touch. I don't close my mouth. So I finish a sentence and then I start the next sentence, because if you close your lips and open your mouth, noise. Your tongue touches the top of your mouth. You're just generating mouth noise. When you leave the lips open, the mouth slightly open between phrases, it takes that away, which is nice, right? The less mouth noise we have, the better. Okay, we got Billy the Kid in High Springs, Florida. Is it possible to live abroad, say Japan, and still record work for clients in America? How difficult would this be? Wouldn't be. I mean, no, not at all. As we have, yeah, we've got students who do that. That's not. You can live literally anywhere. Live anywhere. And the only thing that you have to keep in mind is time zone differences. So, I mean, your clients don't even need to know where you live. You don't even need to tell them. It's not. Excuse me. You can. Excuse me, just a moment. This is what I deal with in the morning. My allergies and all this. It takes a while for all that to, One of the reasons I drink hot coffee every morning. My apologies. So it's not relevant. You could tell them, but it's really not relevant. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that you can do what you need to do when your clients need it. So, for instance, if you live in Japan and your clients are in the US, you're obviously, you got anywhere 10, 12-hour time zone difference, something like that. Your clients may be, you won't, if you're not contacting and communicating with your clients during business hours, it's going to make it a little bit tougher. It can be done though. I mean, there are people who work third shift. It'd be like maybe a third shift job for you. Or you can make them wait till you can respond to them when they're in bed at night. The problem is with voiceover is that voiceovers typically are on a short timeline, because voiceover is the last link of a production chain. Everything else gets done, then it's voiceover. And so usually the need for voiceover is fairly urgent. So if you're going to live anywhere outside the time zone, I would recommend that you try as best you can to work within the time zone of the people that you're marketing to, or at least be somewhat available during that time. The more you can, the more successful I think you'll be. Hey, Ezekiel, how you doing? Can you explain a bit on voice pitch when reading commercials? Is there something like high, middle, low pitches? Well, here's the thing. Don't think about it in terms of voiceover. Think about it in terms of your voice when you talk. Sometimes do you pitch up when you talk? Sometimes do you pitch down when you talk? Absolutely. Because that's voiceover is about being the authentic you. It's not being about manufacturing something unless it's like a cartoonish kind of thing. So yeah, I mean, when I get excited, my voice goes up. It pitches up. And when I'm speaking more seriously and authoritatively, my voice pitches down at the end of a sentence. That's just the way human beings typically communicate, and that's what you bring to voiceover. Theo says, "Can't wait to see y'all tomorrow." Thanks for the event, Bill. At all, yeah, Theo, you're looking forward to it. Now, let me just do some quick shout outs here because I need to wrap it up, and I got to get to work here. Hey Zanzo, how are you doing? Sonny, what's up in Sardinia? And Theo, hyping it up, asking everybody to hit that like button. Thank you, Theo. Hey, Joy. That there will possibly be we are making a replay available for folks who are going to be there if they want to get it. I'm not sure what we probably will at some point. So just stay tuned for that. Hey, Heather. Hey, Jason, Marisol. How are you doing? Angela in Harmony, North Carolina. Mark, Scotty, Heather, Ash, Lincoln. Oh my gosh, let's see here. Jim, Kirk, and Phil in Tokyo. I mean, here's a guy, and Phil. I'm sure Phil has a number, maybe many, North American clients, but doing voiceover from Tokyo. Going back to the question we were talking about earlier, Kevin. How are you doing? Techivine TV, hello. Okay, Jim, good morning. Guys, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful weekend. For those of you who will be here, I look forward to meeting you and seeing you tomorrow. Have a wonderful weekend, guys. We'll talk to you soon.